now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi, Vani. Vani, just in case if you have missed, just wanted to say, if you and Deva can record the sessions, I guess my space is full. I was not able to record a couple of sessions like yesterday, the day before yesterday's. So just wanted to inform you in case if I miss or in case if I forget to mention or forget to tell you. Okay, let's start. Okay. Yeah. So yesterday we discussed about general parenthesis. I guess the same template that I posted, and then now in the multiple cases like generating multiple cases part, we can understand it through number of island problems either, and we can try to keep the templates same.
I thought we were going to discuss the subset of permutation one, no?
Yes, Aditya. I guess like many people look confused yesterday about the matrix problem I was explaining yesterday. So I thought it could be a good opportunity to go through this problem either. Otherwise, yeah, if you guys have done this problem or yeah, otherwise we can continue with subset problems as well.
No, we can apply, we can look here, but I was also interested in knowing how to apply the format which you discuss in these problems, permutation, subset,
Yes, same thing. Like I was about to. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me quickly go through the number of island problem just to reiterate or just to explain the same template through different example. Uh, Maybe quickly within 10 minutes, and then we can continue with the subset problems. Is that good?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So for those who are seeing this problem for the first time. It says given an m cross n 2D binary grid, which represents a map of ones and zeros, return the number of islands. An island is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent lands horizontally or vertically. You may assume all four edges of the grid are all surrounded by water. So it says all four edges of grid. That means let's say this is the piece of part. This is the piece we are working on. All the ones are land, all the zeros are water. So all this area like surrounded by this matrix is water. So in a way that is invalid. These are all invalid valid locations. So we'll be going from zeroth row, zeroth column till zeroth row, nth column, and then an mth row, something like this. So this is m cross n matrix. What we have to do is we have to find how many number of islands are possible. So what does that tell? It says like this is one, this is land, this is land. So since these both land objects are connected because they are adjacent to each other, this is just one island or this is just one piece. All of these which are adjacent to each other are part of a single island. So if you see, the island starts from here, goes all the way till here, and these four are also part of it. So this is the island. So if you see, we have to count how many number of islands, such islands are possible. So basically starting from any point like this one, this one, this one, we are supposed to find out all the connected ones, all the connected land objects to this particular one wherever we are starting. And once we found them out, we can mark them somehow, like we have found the objects, we have found this land, so that we will avoid counting it twice. So let's say if I come from this path, starting from, let's say I start from this path for one, then I go towards right, I go again right, I go again right. If I go right, there is water, so I will invalidate this case by backtracking. Then after this, I will try to go this upward. Upward is out of bound, I will try to invalidate this case by backtracking. Then this path, I have already come from this path, so I need to mark this path because I have already covered this path, so I will invalidate this one. And then left one is this, like to go downwards. This is still to be explored, I will again mark this. All the sides of this is 0. So I will invalidate them by backtracking. I will come back and come back to this place again. Then I will explore this path, going up till 1. I will again come back to this. Since all of the directions are explored, I will come back to this. I will try to go downwards here. And once I reach here, I might try to go this way. But since I have already explored that earlier, I might have marked it already. I might have marked it already by some different value or by doing some manipulation. So I don't need, I will recognize that, and I won't count that again now. So again, go back, then going down this one again. For this one must be marked already, so I will again go back. So this is the basic problems for those who are seeing this problem for the first time. Then in all, this is just one exploration. This is just one island that we have explored so far. If you go on traversing all over the grid, you will try to spot if there is still one left, there is still a piece of land left which is still to be explored. You will recognize that by traversing over the grid, and you will again initiate the search on that place. So that's how it works.
So,
The many number,
Sagar, what I understood is like this one, all ones has to connect. If it is connecting, that is one island. If not connecting, then it will be. I mean, number of islands are more like that.
yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So if you see here, these 4 ones are connected. You will mark all of them, and that will form one island. And you will keep on searching until there is no piece of one which is connected to this and which is not explored yet. So you will explore all 4 of them. Then you will come out. You will start checking every other place. These are zeros you won't explore. These are already marked you won't explore. You will come down all the way till here. So you will start your search here because this is one, and this was not explored earlier. You will initiate the search and there is no other piece of land connected. You will simply count this as one island, and you will go ahead in checking rest of the land, piece of lands. You will come all the way till here, and with this you initiate search till here. So in total you initiated your search 3 times. So that's all about this problem. M and N is the column versus row. Basically, that's the length of the grid and width of the grid, which can also be seen as a list of list. Like number of list is your number of rows, and each list might have n columns. So that is about length of each list. Length of each list should be your number of columns, and number of list should be your number of rows. So let's take 5 minutes to think in terms of the template we were discussing earlier, and after 5 minutes we can come back to the discussion and just discuss about the template. maybe even if anyone has solved the problem, you can show your solution. That's fine. But the main purpose is to break down this problem in the format of that template. No worries if you're not solving this problem, if you're not able to solve this problem.
Could you show the template once again?
Yeah, it's already there in the group. If
Oh,
you
okay.
So generate parenthesis problem, if you see the solution of generate parenthesis, that's the template I was talking about. Shall we discuss?
Yeah.
Okay. Any ideas?
I think this is, I mean, this is pretty standard problem for applying the recursive DFS, or I mean,
Mhm.
where we have to keep two things in mind. I mean, basically, if you have to iterate through whole grid, and while iterating, if you find island, which is one, you keep looking for, yeah, you keep looking for its neighbor in all four directions, because that's what it says. Uh, Adjacent land horizontally and vertically. So it doesn't talks about diagonal. So that means you have to look in all four neighboring, not eight. And yeah, find the ones. And then if you find one, then start looking for in all four directions, which is up, down, left, and right. And while looking in all four directions, if you feel you are hitting a boundary conditions, which means x is less than minus 0, or it's greater than the length of, or basically n, if it is m by n, then you just return from there that condition. Otherwise, you keep recursively calling and in all four directions, and you can also add up the sum.
Yeah. So just one thing on top of that is, while verifying valid places while searching, we should also verify if we have already searched it or not.
Right. So we have, you can temporarily in place update the value so that you don't get into infinite loop.
Yes.
Other ways to just maintain a visited matrix, where you can mark with true or false if it is visited or not. But only downside is you will end up in using extra memory. So since we don't care about end result, I mean, modifying it, you can modify and again put it back. Basically, that's what I was saying. You can do it in place.
Yes. Yeah. That totally explains it in the form of a template. So in terms of steps, like our base case or our final case could be, we have already searched everything. So we initiate a recursion, we initiate a backtracking with from one place, and we keep on searching until we exhaust all possibilities of search, right? So as Aditya mentioned, if we are able to find everything in our visited, that means we have searched everything. So uh, like verify searching for the first time, or verify if not visited if not visited already. So this could be our base case, like something which we have already visited, we don't need to visit it again. If we have visited everything, then we don't need to search it again. We don't need to initiate, we don't need to go any deeper down that tree or down that path, because we have it, because it is already explored. So that could be our base case. Another could be finding one value which is one, like we are only interested in finding land. So wherever it is not land, we will backtrack. So in a way we can combine these two conditions. like our validity condition could be verify valid places while searching. So what are valid places? We need to check for bounds. If we are going out of bound of this grid, then that will throw an error. We won't be able to check the values. So we will verify valid places while searching. Plus, we will also verify if wherever we are searching, find yeah, or we can say check if current value is 1 or not. So this could be our backtracking condition. If these two conditions are not satisfying, we will go back. If we have already visited, we will go back. And then if these two conditions are satisfied, then we will look in all 4 directions. This is as good as making 4 recursion calls. In generate parenthesis case, we were making 2 recursion call in terms of combination of phone number or phone like keypad dial problem. We were making 2 cases, like for each of them, each of the number that is being dialed, or each of the element of the string, we are making recursion call, something like that. So for this, we will make 4 recursion call because we will be exploring 4 path in 4 different directions.
And
Any doubt, anyone?
we need to repeat this recursion on every element, right? Because if we start from one connected, one place, we will only find one island, but we need to find rest of the islands too.
Yes. So it could be, yeah, sometimes they explain it this way, same problem. You might have seen this, like we are initiating a search at first one that we find. Once we hit the first one, you must have heard we can sync that that place because we have already counted it. So let's say we sync this one, we make it 0. 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 Come back, we sync this one, make it 0. Sync this one, make it 0. All the island which is counted, we sync that island, so it no more could be counted again. And then you initiate search for one, and wherever you will find next one, there your next island will start, something like that.
Correct.
Either you mark it visited, or either you make it 0. It is same. Any doubts, anyone? Okay, so code wise, it is like this. For now, only focus on the recursion case. Let's say wherever we find our first one, initially, this is how we initiate our search on any matrix. From M, which is the number of list, we are trying to find out rows. Each row we will get it in row. Each column we will get it in column. Once at each place we check if it is 1 or not. Wherever we discover our first one, we will initiate our land search from that place. So we initiated a land search here, and thereon the recursion or the backtracking will take over. In that, this could be our base case. This could be our backtracking condition. And this is just an extra processing to mark them visited, because we might need that for subsequent recursion calls. And here we are making our recursion call. So you must have seen like various other implementation as well. I was just trying to show, trying to demonstrate that the template we were talking about, it could take care of any different type of problem. Not all, but most of the variations can be thought in this way.
It is a recursion problem, means how to make a tree.
Yes. So tree wise, you can say that let's say if you initiate from 1, you are finding another one. So let's say for this place, you found one this way. So you go down that way like this. and you come back, then you found another one this way, so you go this way, something like that. So if you have to see the tree like structure, it is like, let's say we are 0, 0. And for 0, 0, there could be 4 cases. My bad, 3 cases. 0, 1, then I guess 1, 0, and
-1, comma.
yeah, I guess for this one, there we have only 2 possibilities initially because all the other ones will be out of bound. Okay, so if we have to talk about -1, 0, then we will invalidate those cases.
So coordination you are saying, right?
Yes.
So basically, I'll just add like since since there are 4 ways, 4 directions where we can go, you'll encounter other problems also where you can go in all 8 directions. So there the tree will have like all, if you're trying to form a tree, then that will have 8 directions. But here it's 4 directions, so you can think of it like 4 subchild. And of course, they will be, every node will not be eligible for 4 subchild because they will be eliminated with those boundary conditions or the conditions which Sagar is mentioning about the backtracking. That's what.
Yes. So each of these have 4 condition in among themselves. So there will be again 4 recursion calls for them. I feel there could be easier explanation for this problem as well, but if you are following one template or one thought process or one line of thought, try to go try to follow that line of thought till end or for any problem, because it will help you to clarify stuff. This problem you have already seen. What if the interviewer gives something which is unseen, or some variation to this? You can just try to classify that variation, if this variation could be part of base case, if this variation could be part of some backtracking condition, or if this variation will change our recursion call, just that. So there could be another one which is number of island 2, where the scenario is changing slightly. There we can just add some variation to backtracking condition, or we can just add some variation to this processing part, and we can still reuse this same template. Any doubts, anyone? Okay, shall we move on to the next problem? Yeah, I will put this code in the chat so that you can have a look later on. Okay, moving on to the next problem, subsets. Anyone want to go ahead with this problem?
You mean explaining this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I can explain this one, but like, do help me out.
Sure, sure. Yeah, don't worry about like the solution for now.
Given an integer array, nums of unique elements, return all possible subsets, the power set. The solution set must not contain duplicate subsets. Return the solution in an array. For example, they given this number as a 1, 2, 3, right? What are the possible, I can say, permutations here? Like you can have the empty string, or you can have just 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So this is the subset of this 1, 2, 3, the whatever number they given. Like that example, if it is 0, they given as the number as 0. So only possible way it is empty or 0. Because we don't have any other permutations can be possible with this.
Here the 3, 1 is not possible, right? I mean, it should be like a unique element, right?
Yeah, 1, 3 or 3, 1. But we are collecting 3, 1 is reverse, right? We are going only 1, 3 way. If we are going tree model, it has to be 1, 3 only. Right, Sagar?
Okay.
Yeah, they have exclusively said here, set must not contain duplicate subset.
Duplicate subsets.
So
Yeah.
whenever it comes to set as a mathematical entity, set are orderless. So if it is 1, 3 or 3, 1, both are same.
Okay.
Set
Only
is just collection of numbers.
unique elements.
Okay.
This one we can solve using the recursion, that's 3 steps, right?
Sorry, what was your question, Vani?
No, this one we can solve using that recursion 3 steps, what we discussed yesterday. You
Yes,
can,
yes, we can actually think in that way, or also think in the terms of recursion tree, like if you can create a recursion or backtracking tree.
One quick question here. What do they mean by the power set? Is there any jargon behind it, or like?
Oh, even I was not aware about the power set. I guess it is all possible subsets, something like that only.
Yeah.
The set of
Okay.
all possible subsets, something like that. Let's
Okay.
check maybe. Yeah, the set of all
Okay.
subset of set A, including the set itself.
Okay, and the null or empty set. Okay.
Yeah, null and empty set. Yeah, yes, this is important, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, shall we take 7 minutes to discuss? We can start by 8, 7.
Can you share the code of the first problem?
Yeah, sure. Shall we discuss? Yeah. Yeah. Can anyone, has anyone solved or
I think it will be based on whether to consider an element of an array or not. So basically, we have to see if we have 1, 2, and 3. If we are at 1 right now, we need to decide whether we have to consider or include 1 and go ahead, or leave it there and move it. So there will be 2 choices for 1, 2, and 3 similarly.
Mhm. So can you tell, can you suggest how can we form recursion tree?
Maybe in recursion there will be 2 calls basically, one call to include 1 and another call to exclude 1. I mean each element of the array.
Okay. How about not excluding? How about just choosing? Like these are 3 elements, we just choose each of them once.
Mhm.
So rather than excluding, we will just include one once.
Okay.
So in a way, what we are trying to do here is one subset could be the null set, which we can consider right away. For
Yeah.
every recursion call, we will add our set, be
Right.
it empty or be it filled. So we have already considered that case. So let's ignore that. So now if the empty one is already taken, empty one is already considered. Now we are actually looking for element for first place. Okay. So we are only interested for first case. So as you were saying, choosing and not choosing, instead of that, how about we just choose one for first place? So here we are only talking about first place, let's say. Okay. Let's not care about any other place for now. So for first place, just choose one. That could be a decision here. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true. So we choose one at a time and then yeah,
keep-
and append it.
yeah. So just choose one element at a time. Yeah, as you said rightly. Yeah. So for first place here we choose one. Okay, that was one decision we can do. What was the another decision you were talking about? Instead of not choosing one, now for first place we just increment our pointer. Now our current element is 2. So for first place we can choose 2. Instead of 1. And again, once this is done, we will increment our pointer to 3. Now our current element is 3. So we will be choosing 3. You see, these are all the 3 set that we can generate here. After that, we will pass. Initially, we had passed. Initially, we generated an empty set. We added it to our list, and we had passed that empty set downwards. Now we will add. We will pass this set downwards, and again, we have 3 choices. So instead, at second place, since we had already appended 1, at second place, we while passing, so let's say we were passing an array which was 1, 2, 3. Now and initially, while we were initiating this search, initiating this recursion, our first pointer was here. and this path we came here, and this way here first pointer was pointing to 1. Now instead of letting it there, point there, while passing it for downward recursion call, we incremented this pointer to 2. That is just one processing that we did, so that our recursion should stop when this pointer will reach end. That could be our base case. So the goal of recursion, the goal of problem is to traverse over the array going downward. So the first recursion call was for 0th index. The second recursion call will be for first index, and maybe the third recursion call could be for second index. Here we are reaching till end of our array, which was the given input, and we can stop afterwards after this path. So that could be our terminating condition, or that could be our base case. So once we so our temporary list already had 1, and after while passing we incremented our pointer, so our current pointer was 2. So we have 2 choices here. Again, we can pass 2 or we can pass 3. So we pass 2 here in one decision. In another decision with 1 we pass 3. So this was another path, another 2 ways that we created. Again, with this 1, 2, we will have our array, which is 1, 2, 3, which is here basically. And initial pointer was 1. Here our pointer was pointing to 2. Here our pointer was pointing to 3. So the only element we can take is 3. So this path will have 3 as our input, as our temporary list, and then that we will give as input. Once that is done, we will increment our pointer, and which will be pointing outwards. So we invalidate that case. Any doubts, anyone? Is it clear? Or anyone has any doubt? Yeah, so this is the same thing, just that we are choosing one element once. So initially we choose 1 for the first place, then we choose 2 for the first place, then we choose 3 for the first place. After that, for each recursion call downwards, since this way we have already chosen 1, now we will be choosing 2. We choose 2, or we can choose 3. So with 1 we choose 1, 3 and 1, 2. With 1, 2 we can only choose 1, 2, 3, like the third one, because we are reaching to the limit. With 1, 3 we have already reached limit, so there is no path to explore. We will invalidate this case anyways.
When you think 1, 3, we have reached the limit of the elements, you mean 1, 3?
Yeah, so at every place we are passing this pointer as well, right? While I was explaining, I said we will also pass this pointer downward. So initially whenever we were choosing 1, our pointer was here. Then later on I incremented that pointer and I passed 2 here, right? So at this place my pointer will already be pointing to 3, and so I'm left with no other element to traverse onto.
Okay, I see. And then the second case, we will also have 2, 3, right? Yeah, this one, 2, 3 also.
Yes, this will also have 2, 3. But here we haven't explored 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we should have 2, 3 in that second one.
Yes, so this will automatically take care of duplicates, because we, in that case, so here you see the first place was 2, and 3, whichever we'll be placing, it will be on second place. So first place we have already placed 2, 3 will be on second place. In this case, this 3 will be on third place, because first place we have already placed 1. On second place we are either placing 2 or 3. So there is no chance of 2, 3.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now I was saying 2, 3 in the second option over there. Yeah, below this.
Here,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So here there is just one path, which is 2, 3. Yes, you're correct.
Hey Sagar,
Hi Satyajit. Yeah.
how are you, Sagar? Sagar, yeah, this is good. I have a small suggestion. I think it will be clear if you go in DFS route rather than like putting it as BFS search. I think it will be easier for everyone to understand. If you start from 1, then you pick the next element. So I'm saying you go left, left, left in the tree, and then you come back.
Yes.
At 2, I think it will be very clear if you do it that way. I mean,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. While explaining, yes, I
yeah.
made that mistake. Yes, I totally agree.
No. You're totally right. But for anyone new to recursion, I think it will be easier if if you can just show them that the left, 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 and you go back one step once you're exhausted, and then you go to the second element from there.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, as Satyajit is saying, let's say if we are pointing our pointer to this one, for first place we will pick up 1. Once we have pick up 1, now we have 2 choices. For second place, we can either pick up 2 or we can either pick up 3. So since first place is already gone this path, we will only be choosing for second place. So for second place we choose 2 or we choose 3.
Sagar, let's take off 1, 3. Yeah. Let's take off that 1, 3, because in recursion, so it will be easier for like everyone if they understand it through recursion stack. So first is you take 1 into your stack. Yeah. And then you add the second element into the next recursive stack. And then you go deeper and you take 1, 2, 3 into the stack. Okay. Now you're exhausting the numbers. So you backtrack to your previous stack. Yeah. Now you start from there. Now the next element that is left is 1, 3. So you add 1, 3. Yeah. And you exhaust and yeah. Now, that way it will be easier.
Perfect. Yes, this is a perfect way. So yeah, maybe let me start with begin. From start, we added 1. Then same path we can add the second element. Same path we can add the third element. Now we have already reached till end. Now we will come back at this place, and at this place the another element we can add is 3. So another path from this place could be 1, 3. Since we are already at the last element, we are nowhere to go. We can come back to this place. Here we have chosen 1. So now we can try to choose 2. Now we can try to choose 2. After 2, we only have 3. So there is just one path left here, 2, 3. And after 3, since we are already at limit, we are nowhere to go. We can come back at this place. After coming back to this place, we only have 3 left. So we will go to 3. And at 3, we will terminate our search. We will terminate our DFS because there is nowhere to go.
Yeah, this way we don't even have the duplicate as well. So this is like, yeah, I think this is much better. But I think it's almost the same thing, just saying in a different way, because even the earlier one which you were explaining,
Yeah.
Even in that case also, of course, the approach has to be going down the depth, which is recursive. So you will be going, but I think in terms of just putting in a different words, this sounds a little better, because eventually you will get exhaustive, right? So when once you reach the third point or at 3 in this case, you just need to go back. There is no that's why after 1 3 you cannot do 1 3 or blah whatever, or 1 3 2, because you cannot go back, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you will never have a duplicate set. It cannot be 1 comma 3 comma 2, right? So you've never encountered that scenario. So you just have to go back to 1 and then again choose another one, which is 2. And after 2 is only, you can't have 2 1. So it has to be 2 comma 3. So it's just forward way of looking,
Yes, yes. So interestingly, like if you see the way I was explaining earlier, I was slightly struggling to make every case. I was slightly struggling to put every like clarify every condition. So I guess what Satyajit suggested is the simplest way to imagine about the recursion tree. And that's what I guess even I was trying to understand and learn that way, because in the interview, if we explain this way, I guess it will be just 5 minutes or 10 minutes of discussion, and we will crack the problem within 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And that's what the interviewer is looking for, the simplest possible explanation. That's what I feel. Okay, code wise is just again simple code, nothing much. Let me rename it properly. Yeah. So, so this is my recursion function here. Yeah. So the base case could be my the pointer that I'm running. It is already overrun the length that I'm carrying. Basically, the input array length. I'm taking it as n, and that could be my base case. I'm supposed to add every single result. So there is no way to invalidate any result. As we said, there is we did not generate any invalid case. So there is no need of any backtracking condition here, because every case is a valid case. And then this case is a recursion call. And since we have two possibilities or multiple possibilities from one point, like at this place, from for first place we had three possibilities, 1, 2 or 3. So as Samruddhi was explaining, instead of not choosing everything, we just chose everything once. The way to do that is a simple for loop can choose every element once. And how can we choose which element to choose? We are running a current pointer continuously, and this pointer will tell us we can start from this place till the end of array. So the for loop is starting from the current start pointer, and then it will go on till the length, and each current pointer, while passing down the recursion, we will increment it by 1. So the same current pointer should not be taken twice, because we have already incremented it. So the for loop will start from that place onwards. And while adding each case, for exploring different paths. So let's say I was adding 1 and I was exploring the path this way. Now again, for the first place, I'm supposed to add 2, but I have already added 1. So after 1, I need to pop this one so that I can add 2 at first place again. So that is just a append and pop operation that we have to do. So since we have appended earlier, we will pop it, because for the first place now we are supposed to add 2. So after exploring each path, I'm popping it out so that I at the same place I can append different element. Same thing we can handle here as well. Instead of actually appending and popping, if we generate the case here like this, then we will be saved from this popping and unnecessary code of popping and appending. because we are the way we discuss, this is just pass by value. We are passing the value instead of passing in the reference of array. So we created the value in the argument itself and we passed it that way.
So this is
So
like just path appending, right? Appending to the path.
yes, appending to the path. Yes. Again, the same thing, same template, base case, all possible recursion call, and maybe some processing. We don't have any backtracking condition. So so the thing that I was stressing on is like the simple explanation that we just discussed some time back. Simple explanation plus a simple code will definitely increase our speed and like a different impression on interviewer. And again, that will add clarity. If we keep practicing by some simple explanation and simple code, then it is very easier to classify trickier or tough problems in the same template going down the line. So almost every single DFS problem, graph problem, my bad, graph is like DFS way or topographical way or union find way, all those could be broken down into this template basically. Any doubts, anyone?
No, Sagar, I think this explanation was great. I think you covered both the possible way of solving it. So that was awesome.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I will post this solution again. So shall we stop here? We are already at 8:30. And can you guys like pick up these problems for next session? So instead of me explaining every problem, me solving every problem, maybe someone else can try to think and come up with the template. In case if even if you can't explain, in case if you solve, we will be better able to discuss the templates for each of the problem. These are quite interesting problems. So after subset 2 and permutation 2, these two are quite interesting problem, like about defining some condition which will avoid duplicates, and combination sum 2 as well. So subset 2, permutation 2, and combination 2, sum 2, these three are specifically very interesting problem. Okay, shall we stop here?
Yeah, that should be fine. I think we can continue tomorrow and
Yeah,
we can
I
pick
guess
some problems.
tomorrow is Friday, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Shall
right.
we meet on Saturday morning?
Right.
Sagar, to take one weekend off and finish in Friday.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, this week we can do like
So on Saturday, we can carry on with the discussion so far, because on last Saturday, as you said, Vani, I was trying to spend the time on this template itself. So I feel like we have already done that. So maybe we can spend more time solving these problems at a greater stretch. Maybe we can extend it for 1.5 hours or something like that.
okay. So we are having Saturday, right? We don't have anything Friday.
Yeah, Saturday morning 9 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank
If we
you.
need to add more problems to this list, especially like recursion problems or almost similar backtracking recursion problems. If you come across any other problem, please feel free to put that into this list so that we can discuss. So my like goal is to solve similar problem just to master this template, so that later on we can cover harder problems or trickier problems with the same ease that we are going through this easier or medium problems.
Sagar, is it okay to append some of the medium or hard problem as well? Like I believe like Sudoku solver, or I don't know, NQueen is too common, but Sudoku solver is on the same backtracking concept, you know. It's
Yeah.
little lengthy, but it's very simple actually, you know, it's all on the backtracking itself.
Yeah, sure. Please feel free to add that as well. Maybe instead of covering it now, after 1 or 2 weeks, we will try to come to that point once we master, so that for others it should not seem intimidating or something like that. So for Sudoku, I was not trying to avoid that problem, because it is a classic backtracking. Sorry, it is a classic DP problem. So so maybe if you want to add, just try to add it downwards, or maybe just Sudoku solver initially. Then the I guess even Sudoku solver, before Sudoku solver, it is valid Sudoku or something like that, right?
Yeah, there are 2 versions. That's true, but I don't know. It's not a DP. I thought it's a backtracking. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we have. Yeah. Once we discuss, then we can explore more perspective or more opinion on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I guess it was valid Sudoku, and then Sudoku solver is the harder one, I think. So I guess we can go with valid Sudoku as well. It's on the same line.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Shall we stop here?
Yeah. Looks good. Let's meet on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Thank you all.